This is a podcast from BFM 89.9, the business station.
It's 8:36. It's the 22nd of July. It is, of course, Monday, and you are listening to The Morning Run with Keith Kam, and I'm Wong, Shou, Ning. Let's talk about one of the worst cybersecurity incidences in history, because on Friday, many people were plunged back into the pre-technology world that felt unfamiliar and primitive as a global tech outage grounded flights, disrupted health services, crashed payment systems, and blocked access to Microsoft services. It was eventually determined that the cause originated from a cybersecurity firm called CrowdStrike, which provides software to a wide range of industries.
So an update to one of CrowdStrike's pieces of software had malfunctioned, messing up computers running on Windows, which is pretty much many systems in the world. Microsoft now estimates that some 8.5 million computers globally had been disabled by this IT outage, indicating that this could be the worst cyber event in history. The effects continue to reverberate even as systems around the world try to recover.
So what happened on Friday? How long will the impact last? And how can we prepare ourselves to withstand or prevent future cybersecurity outages? To dissect this issue, we speak to CF Fong, Executive Chairman of the Malaysian cybersecurity firm LGMS Bhd. Good morning, CF. Thanks for joining us. Now, what was the cause of this IT outage last week? And why did it catch so many systems around the world off guard?
Hi, good morning. I think the outage was quite obvious. It was caused by a faulty software update distributed by CrowdStrike, as you just mentioned. The reason for the massive impact was because of the adoption of CrowdStrike. It was widely used in many organizations, from Fortune 500 companies to government agencies. And these software updates was... I think it was not thoroughly tested before they deploy it out to their consumers, to their users, and hence causing this disaster.
CF, 3-4 days after what happened, can we venture a guess as to who's to be blamed for this outage? Is it CrowdStrike or Microsoft or both?
I think the primary responsibility lies within CrowdStrike, as they were the one who released the faulty update. However, they also may be shared responsibility with Microsoft as well, particularly if their infrastructure play a role in the deployment of the update or if they had any prior knowledge of potential issues. But I think the primary responsibility still lies with CrowdStrike, because the responsibility of testing the patch, the updates, supposed to be them.
Okay, so what confuses us is, why does this problem seem so hard to fix? And what kind of long-term repercussions will it have for those using the affected systems?
I think the problem is difficult to fix due to the widespread nature of the updates and the complexity of restoring the functionality across millions of devices. To put it in simple way, to fix it, there's a lot of manual process involved. You need to key in command line, you need to do certain steps in order to fix it. So I think Microsoft right now and Intel are working for automated solutions for their consumers to expedite the fixing. However, due to the nature of complexities, the fixing will take some time. And I think this incident would continue to prolong, especially because of widespread of this impact. We will expect some services will be disrupted as well.
Have they actually gone back to pre-update in order to restore the systems? I'm not sure how they restore things.
Yeah, I think it's almost difficult to roll back to the pre-update state, because once the faulty update has been applied, you need to remove certain things from the faulty update in order for the system to recover back. So right now, a lot of systems cannot boot into the normal operation state. That's why you need to know a way how to go into the systems, how to tweak the changes, and then in order to restore the system back to the normal state. So it's quite complex, and we are still looking for automated, easy to fix solutions right now.
And I'm just curious, right? This is probably one of the worst cyber incidences in history. Some people actually say this is Y2K's problem that happened 24 years later than expected. What is the likelihood of a repeat incident like this?
I think while this incident is significant, I think the likelihood of occurrence depends on how security firms learn from this lesson. I'm just particularly pinpointing to this incident alone, because the similar incidents could have been triggered by hackers, triggered by cyber criminals. But if you look at this particular incident, cybersecurity firms actually play a very critical part in maintaining their software stability, especially for a cybersecurity firm that has such a wide deployment of their products worldwide. I think potentially the similar incident could occur in the future. We should always be prepared. The incident could be triggered by the software that we know, or even by cyber criminals. So I think we all should be prepared.
And CF, what I've been reading is that since Friday and indeed up until today, that there have been warnings that there had been hacking opportunities that might have taken place during the outages. What kind of illicit activities have you encountered, and should we be on the watch for during and after and the aftermath of this outage?
Yeah, as part of the security firm, we do observe what's happening in the dark web and also the public internet. We also notice that quite a few phishing campaigns target specifically based on this incident. They are cyber criminals who pretend to be releasing official fix from CrowdStrike and trick the users to install the so-called official fix, which indeed was a backdoor. So we saw some phishing campaigns happening. Again, this may not just limit to this particular incident, because similar phishing campaigns can be based on the latest issues. For example, if you have any other latest issues, cyber criminals will also based on those issues to launch their phishing campaigns. So the message is that when you encounter any incidents, always go back to the official channel, right? Do not take in any software coming from any non-official channels.
Okay, but CF, what advice are you giving your customers? Because you said that that you should prepare for an incident like this. How can you really do so? What kind of business contingency planning can you have to mitigate any disruption to the normal course of operations, especially if, let's say, you're an airline and you're so dependent on IT systems?
Yeah, you're right. I think one thing we need to recognize today is that cybersecurity incidents is no longer an IT issue. It is a business survival issue. And cybersecurity incidents also do not just deal with confidentiality, but availability in this case is also quite critical. Now, for consumers like us, right, we like always say, don't put all your eggs into one basket, right? If it's possible, assess and evaluate different brands of products and solutions. There are even organizations who have policy, which has policies to diversify their selections of different products, different software and hardware, so they can diversify the risk. Now, sometimes it's kind of inevitable because we need to use certain systems, we need to pick certain brands of software and hardware. So as a consumer ourselves, as a user ourselves, we have to regularly conduct cyber drills to simulate the situations. If computer fail us, what can we do? The regular cyber drills will help us to be prepared. But again, disaster can strike anytime. So just to be prepared.
CF, your mention of hacking incidences where users, consumers, and indeed companies receive official fixes, so-called official fixes. I was just wondering if you could just give us a reminder of what to look out for to prepare us not to fall for these.
Now, cyber criminals always like to use software fixes to trick the consumers to download their software. We have probably seen some advertisement on the internet telling you that, oh, your computer has been infected with a virus, you need to download this software to use it. And it kind of seems like a nice advice, but coming from an advertisement. But these kind of advertisements are very dangerous because it could be part of the phishing campaign. So my advice is that if anyone who are concerned about your your computer security, you're concerned about your company security, go to the official software or product provider's website and download the software from there. Do not download from any third-party software website.
But CF, there's a bit of irony there, right? When it's CrowdStrike's software that's causing this glitch, which is an official software provider that you pay for, some of them at least.
Yes, indeed. I think this is kind of unexpected. We would expect a cybersecurity company would have done a much thorough and proper testing before they roll out the patches into the public. Now, from security company standpoint, right? I think some of the advices we can advise is that to roll out the patches, to roll out software updates, we should do it by stages. It shouldn't be just like one go, and that's how we see this incident from happening.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. That was Fong, Executive Chairman of LGMS Bhd, giving us some tips on how we can actually manage the fact that at least have some preventive measures to avoid a cybersecurity incident like that happening, which the blue screen blew my mind off because everyone was like sending me pictures of their computers not working that day.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, up until today, there's just so many warnings that we need to heed in terms of cybersecurity. Don't believe all the ads you see. Don't simply download things.
No, especially if it's free. There's a catch somewhere. Stay tuned, BFM 89.9.
You have been listening to a podcast from BFM 89.9, the business station. For more stories of the same kind, download the BFM app.